when you're thinking about men and women, like women have intrinsic value, whether or not they're hyper-productive or provide a lot of financial stability, they have value regardless. Men do not. Women don't want men who just sit around in their mother's basement playing video games, watching porn, and eating potato chips. Women are not going to want that. They want to find a man who's going to provide stability and adventure. There's no adventure in staying in your mom's basement watching TV, porn, and playing video games. Not attractive whatsoever. If you find a woman who's living at her parents' who isn't financially free, but has, like, a man would definitely be willing to form a relationship with her because her financial scenario isn't nearly as important as the man's is to the woman. And so it's like, if you think about back in the day, I'm going back to this whole ancestral scenario where there was, like, if you're staying in your father's tent, women aren't wanting you. Women want the men who are out there hunting, out there gathering, out there being masculine and being leaders. It's like, you don't have to be a leader and you don't have to be very masculine to sit on a couch and watch TV all day and porn. And it's like, why do you think there's such a loneliness crisis happening in America, specifically young men? Probably because of how easy and free life can be. Oh, I'm free to do whatever I want. My parents are paying for my room. I got a TV. I got a phone. I don't have any friends. Maybe I have some online friends through video games, but I have never talked with a woman in the past 6 months. And the only women I really engage with are the women on my screen. Whenever I'm at the grocery store, I keep my head down, headphones on, and I never make eye contact with any women because I'm terribly afraid of them because I consistently watch porn. And it's like, women can smell when you're confident and when you have, when you're confident in who you are. And if you're not confident in your story and who you are, women are not going to be coming up to you and interested. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like, going back to this escape. So, like, I searched, like, what is some symbolism behind this whole porn scenario? And the first one that came up was escape and stress relief. Porn can provide an escape from the pressures and stresses of everyday life. Men may turn to pornography as a way to alleviate anxiety, boredom, loneliness, and other emotional challenges. This symbolic appeal lies in the fantasy world it offers, where individuals can experience pleasure, control, fulfillment without facing real-life complications. Yeah, it's this easy route. It's like, you know why it's called the narrow path? It's hard. Not many people take it, but that's the path that leads you to greatness and to the stars. It's through hardship and it's through pain that you get there, not through pleasure, self-indulgence, and yeah, it's not the way. Another symbol, power and control. Pornography often presents exaggerated portrayals of masculinity, dominance, and sexual power. For some men, the symbolic attraction may stem from a desire to exert control or feel a sense of power in the world where they might otherwise feel powerless. Engaging in explicit content might provide a temporary sense of mastery or confidence that is lacking in their everyday lives. It's like, yeah, how powerful are you truly if you are not a leader? You don't have any friends, no one looks up to you, etc. I'll just get that feeling of power and control by pretending I'm a person on a screen, when in reality, you're just being cucked. You're just being cucked. Wow. You're a person who gets off by looking at pixels of two other people having sex while you're sitting in your room alone. Yeah, it's just so interesting that that's the culture we're in. Another symbol, Emotional disconnection. In some cases, pornography addiction can be a manifestation of underlying emotional issues or difficulties with intimacy. Symbolically, pornography allows individuals to engage in sexual experiences without the emotional vulnerability and the complexities associated with real-life relationships. It offers a detached and superficial connection that avoids the risks of emotional investment, rejection, or vulnerability. Exactly. You don't have to run the risk of being rejected or being vulnerable if all you do is look at the screen. You get the climax without putting in any work, without being vulnerable, and without any risk of rejection. There is no rejection in porn. You just watch. There's no mountain you have to climb. There's no effort you have to put in. And I guess that's kind of been a lesson for me. It's like women love it when men are vulnerable and explain what their true feelings are. And so many men, instead of expressing what they're truly feeling, they channel their emotions into the wrong camp or into the wrong channel, I guess. Oh, I'm feeling emotionally lonely. Well, that just means I'm horny and I want to orgasm. Oof, I'm feeling stressed and anxious. I'm going to channel that into rage and get annoyed at my video game. It's like, men got to become a little bit more emotionally intelligent. It's like, I think it showed, I don't know, there's a large, at least a minority of men right now that have no close friends. No close friends. If I didn't have close friends, I would not be in the position I am right now. And having a close friend is very useful in expressing emotions and explaining feelings, and you can't do it alone. And women want men who are intelligent with their emotions, who are able to channel their emotions into good things such as journaling, speaking, and exercise, and other things like that. Not porn and TV and junk food. All right. Unmet needs and desires. The fourth symbolic thing I could find. Men may turn to porn when their sexual needs or desires are not adequately fulfilled in their personal relationships. Symbolically, pornography provides an immediate and easily accessible outlet for sexual gratification, bypassing the need for emotional intimacy or the challenges of fostering a satisfying sexual connection with a partner. It's exactly right. You get to reach the top of the mountain without stepping a single step. You get a glimpse of what the top of the mountain looks like when you're just at the very bottom, sitting on a couch. It's like, I went on a trip out west with a few buddies, and we climbed to the top of this mountain, and it took a ton of effort. I was sweating, I was breathing, but at the end, the view was worth it. And it's just, that's kind of like the same idea where it's like, if you take the steps that it takes to become emotionally vulnerable with a woman and to gain a deep connection with her and to reach that level of intimacy that could maybe lead to sex, you'll be able to see that all this effort I've put in, all these hours and months and years of fostering this connection with this woman, when you reach it, you're like, wow, that was so much more worth it. That work it took, the hard conversations, the crying on a late night, the sadness, just those kinds of feelings and the hardness that it takes and the arguments and the fights and the disagreements. It all made the experience worthwhile. So much more worth it than porn, which has zero friction and zero difficulty whatsoever. It's literally one of the easiest things you can do. 1 click, 2 clicks, you're there. Versus years of deep vulnerability. Being vulnerable is not easy for most people. It takes balls, but women like it when men have balls. So go and be vulnerable.